Good evening, everybody. We are welcome you to our anniversary, Ifybella anniversary. So if everybody can come inside, please. So today we came to celebrate the Ifybella organization, and we will more focus on health awareness. So we are welcome you here, and our apology for being late. Hello, my beloved, could you please move a bit forward, please? So that the hall will look more beautiful. We are still waiting for everybody to come forward. We are welcoming you. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your presence. We are really honored to have you in our midst. So thank you very much. I will do our opening prayer and then we will proceed to our program. So can we bow our head in prayer, please? Almighty God, we just want to say thank you. Thank you for this precious time that you have allowed us to come in this place. Father, we came to celebrate what you have been doing through Ifybella organization to help people looking after their kidney. Father, we thank you for everything you've done so far for us. Lord, we want to commit this precious time into your mighty hand. We call upon your presence. Let you take total control of everything from the beginning up to the end. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed, amen. Amen. So we are going right now to proceed to our program. We are first of all apologizing for being late. We are really sorry. And I will bring, we are still waiting for Ifybella, but she's not here with us. So I was thinking to introduce the moderator of the day, and also to welcome each and every one of us. We are really limited, but I'm sorry. Because she's not with us, so we are kind of limited. We really need our presence here now, but as you know, one can't do everything by himself. So do understand us for that. And we will acknowledge the presence of the mayor of Milton Keynes in our midst. The deputy mayor of Milton Keynes in our midst. If we can welcome him. Thank you so much, sir, for putting your time aside and being with us in this place. We feel honored. Thank you. And we wanted to hear from
I ought to explain that I am just the deputy. You can always tell that very easily because I've only got half a chain, whereas the mayor gets the full chain. But I wanted to say that being here for me is a very personal experience because I have myself had a couple of transplants. I was going blind about 15 years ago, and as a consequence of that, over 3 years, I had 2 transplant operations for new cornea in each of my eyes. I learned a number of lessons from that. First of all, not to neglect your eyes. I'd allowed them to deteriorate far too long. The second was an issue of sensitivity. It took me 18 months before I could actually cope with the idea of an operation that was going to put something that didn't belong to me into me, that had belonged to somebody else. It was a huge psychological barrier that I found very, very difficult to overcome. The third thing was living with it afterwards. For years being on steroid tablets to control rejection, and also to have to go around with an emergency number in my pocket, so that if the organs began to reject it very quickly, I could actually get to a hospital within about 45 minutes. Those are my recollections of what was a very, very traumatic 3 years in my life. And I think, therefore, the work that Ifybella is doing here is so crucially important in just providing the experience, the support, and the aftercare for people who have got a much, much more serious condition than I had. It is a serious condition because I looked up the figures in England alone. There are 1.8 million people in England who have been diagnosed with kidney disease. But even worse than that, and more worrying, it's reckoned or it's thought that there are another 1 million that are undiagnosed, but nonetheless do have a problem. And that leads to something like 45,000 premature deaths. And that's in England alone. With all of the National Health Service, doctors, care and prevention and everything else that happens in this country. And so the international aspect of what Ifybella is going to do is again so important, because you will be able to you will be able to do the fundraising and give the experience to countries which don't have the same kind of resources as we do over here, and try and improve the situation for people with kidney disease in those countries. So I want to applaud what you're doing, and particularly to thank the organisers for taking the initiative that they have. I know that you're only a very young organisation, and we will cut a first birthday cake in a few minutes later on. But congratulations to everyone for taking the initiative and for organising tonight. Let us give a round of applause to those organisers. And what better tribute can there be than maybe to look back after 10 years or 20 years and say, we started or we belonged to an organisation that has actually saved lives and prevented people dying early. That's the magnitude of what you will achieve. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we are going right now to call our Master of Ceremony, Mr. Ken, to take over.
Hello? Oh, I was thinking there are people in this hall. Hello? Hi.
Okay, it's beginning to feel like there are people here. Hello? Hello. Okay. First and foremost, I want to start by thanking you, the Deputy Mayor. Thank you so much, sir, for being here. And thank you for this wonderful opening you have given to this occasion. We sincerely appreciate your presence and we sincerely appreciate the work you are doing and the entire Milton Keynes Council. Thank you so much. Can we put a hand of applause to the Deputy Mayor? Thank you very much, sir. I would have loved to, walk around on behalf of Ifybella and give everyone, traditionally I normally like giving people a hug. But I know that because of some sensitivities, you may not want to give the person near you a hug on my behalf. So I would like you to just extend a hand and welcome someone near you on behalf of Ifybella. Welcome someone cheerfully. Don't let it not be cosmetic. Let it be from the heart. Let it be from the heart. You can actually leave your seat, yes. You can actually leave your seat. Welcome somebody. Please, just, if you still remember how to walk around, can you please stand up and walk around? Welcome someone. Yes, that's good. Give someone a hug if it's permitted. Come on, don't be too shy or too important to get up. Welcome someone. Thank you very much for indulging me. And I'm very privileged and proud to be doing this moderation today with no less a person than my beloved brother, Pastor Ferdinand. Can we put a hand together for? Thank you very much. And while we are walking up to the... Is that okay? You see, that's one of the problems I normally have. I don't like talking to myself, except if I'm alone. But when I intend to talk to someone, I normally like to get a response. Are we going to agree that we'll do that today? Yeah? Hello? Yes, you know what? This is not a church meeting. People know how to pretend to be church. Hello? Yeah, this is not a church meeting. Just take off or take away the cap, the church cap or religious toga that you're putting on. Just be yourself. Okay? Be free, be yourself. So that you'll be able to interact with the person near you. Because what we come for actually require interaction. What we've come for require interaction. Can you understand that? Huh? Now, can we start by you turning to someone near you and say, why are we here, by the way? I didn't say ask everybody, talk to someone. When we talk to everyone, we're talking to nobody. Talk to one person, say, why are we here? And if you know why, just explain to the person. Okay, I was saying that I will start by making an attempt to explain to you why we are here, but nobody will do it any much better than Ifybella, the CEO of Ifybella herself. But I'll just make an attempt, and if I didn't do it as good as you thought, so many of you know about this organization better than me. So that's why I'm saying I will make an attempt, and if I fail, please forgive me. Thank you very much. Now, the reason why we are here today is because Ifybella is celebrating 1 year anniversary. The Ifybella organization is celebrating 1 year anniversary, and also they are going to make a public presentation of a magazine, and that magazine will be highlighting health issues, especially as it affects the kidney. How many people are listening to me? Because if nobody's listening to me, I don't really want to be talking.
We're listening.
Okay? Right. But I'll tell you why there is Ifybella in the first place. One of the reason why there's Ifybella in the first place is because someone was bold enough, courageous enough to interpret a negative incident and turn it into a positive thing. Someone was able to interpret a negative, something that was negative. You know, I have promised you that this is not a church event, it's not a religious organization, but because we learn so much from the great book called the Bible, I may take some text from there to buttress what I want to tell you. Is that okay? Is that okay? That sounds better. Right. Now, in one passage in the Bible, it says, out of the killer comes something sweet. Out of the killer comes something sweet. That was the story of Samson when he killed a lion and got back the next day and found that honey was coming out of, bee has already nested there and got some honey from it. I will also tell you another story. And this story was that of a woman who, because of the terrible nature of the bad pains, this woman, when she gave birth, she suffered so much during the childbirth that she actually named her child Pain. She named her child Pain. Yeah, Jabez, but the meaning means pain. Now, that was a woman who took from the experience of what she went through. By the way, mothers here, how many of you have gone on the labor, I don't know whether they call it labor table or whatever, I've not been there, I will never be there. I mean, I've been there as a witness, but not as not as the person who is doing the thing. So, but can I ask, how many mothers here, while you were about to have your child, you were laughing, so happy? Has it ever happened? No. I'm getting frustrated, really. Nobody's responding to me. Mothers, are there mothers in the house? Huh? Are there mothers in the house? Yes. Thank you, my dear. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that naturally, women go through labor pains. I can't really imagine, I don't know how painful this particular woman's own was. I don't know how particularly painful her own was that made her to name her child after the pain. You know? Why am I bringing this story? There's still another woman, a second woman. Actually, this second one was the first woman who through child pain, after begetting that child, she named her according to the pain she went through. That woman was Rachel, Jacob's wife. But the father was around to say, no, my son is not going to answer this name. So he changed the name to Benjamin, from Benoni to Benjamin. Is somebody hearing me now? This is a story, but it's a real story because it's from the Bible. The father was present, and the father renamed that child. Said, no, he's not going to bear this name. His name is going to be Benjamin, the son of my right hand. But this other woman, the second woman, this other woman had a child as well, and because of her pains, named her child according to the pain, and the child bore that name and continued to bear that name, and the impact of that name was upon the life of that child until that child called upon God to change the situation for him. But look at look at where I'm going. What I'm trying to say here is that we create. The meaning we give to things depends on, we are the ones that create meaning out of our own feelings. We create from our own perception, from the way we look at it. we create meaning. Hello? Hello? One woman will go through pains and appreciate and thank God that she went through pain and have a child. Another woman will go through pain, another one went through pain and name the child according to the pain. What am I trying to say? Ifybella was born out of the fact that one woman went through some difficulties or life-threatening issues, but when she came out of it, instead of carrying her head low, she lifted her head high and said, you know what, out of this killer, I'm going to get something sweet. She gave a different meaning to that experience, and that's why we're here. She gave a different meaning to that experience. Maybe I'll use another story to bring home what I'm trying to communicate to you. Assuming you're walking in here now, and Ify, the chief host of this occasion, was walking that way, and then passed you and gave a warm hug to the person behind you. If you will be very honest without pretending, what would your thought be? Who is bold enough to say something?
You will feel not welcome.
Thank you very much. You will feel not welcome. Okay, let's look at it another way. Assuming if it's walking past here, walk past you, and you see kind of tears in her eyes, and she greeted the person behind you, what will you think? Will you still feel not welcome, or you will begin to feel, what's wrong with Ify? The same incident, the same person, different interpretation. Is it making sense? The same person, the same incident, but different interpretation and therefore different meaning. So the meaning we give to things depends on how we interpret the thing. Is it making sense? Yes. So one woman went through childbirth, gave it a different interpretation. Another woman will go through childbirth and give praise and say, oh, thank God I survived it. And name that child praise. But this one named that child what? Pain. So, same incident, different interpretation. One woman went through kidney issue, life-threatening problem, but out of it, she said, I went through this. I know there are hundreds of people who are going through the same thing. What can I do to help? Is it beginning to make sense to you? What can I do to help? And that's why we're here this evening, because someone took the challenge. Someone chose to interpret an incident in a way that will benefit others. And I hope you are going to interpret your own issues in life and your own incidents in a way that it will benefit you, give praise to God, and benefit society as well. And that's the reason why when it is time to call upon us to help to further the cause of this organization, I am hoping that we will do our best. Do I have an agreement to that? Do I have an agreement to that? Yes. Thank you very much. How many of us have got the program, please? Just as I've said, we're running behind, but we are trying to make progress. We're trying to speed things up. And I would like to some of our key guests. We've already had Councillor Sam spoke to us, the Deputy Mayor, And I want to recognize the presence of Minister Ahmed Sule of the Nigerian High Commission. Can we give an applause to his presence? Welcome, sir. Thank you, sir. And can I just recognize the presence of His Royal Highness Onyendu? Is he around? Okay. And he is actually the chairman of the occasion. I hope he will be here in not too long a time. I would also like to recognize the presence of Ambassador C.O. Onyike. Ambassador C.O. Onyike. Apparently, I'm introducing this once in absentia. He is the Ugomba Item. And he is the supreme leader of Igbo World Union, Europe. He is from Germany. And permit me to also recognize the presence of the father and mother of the day, Pastor and Mrs. Fola Shade and Kayode Komolafe. Can we give a rousing applause? Thank you very much for being around. All of the above. Thank you. For my wife. If I didn't mention that very well, and Pastor Nike Ayola. Can we give a hand of applause as we welcome these two? That's Dr. Tunde here.
We want now to introduce the CEO, the chief host, and the founder of Ifybella Kidney Organization, Miss Ifoma Uwandu. Can you please give her a warm welcome? That one is so quiet. Please, let's do it the way we do it.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, my distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our chief, our elders, our ministers, our deputy mayor, my lovely friends and family, my mother, my honorable pastors, and all my friends. I want to say a big thank you and welcome all of us here today. You're welcome to our 1-year Ifybella Kidney Organization anniversary. In fact, I want to thank you for the patience and the time that you have taken to be here. Notwithstanding all the clash and the huge appointments and activities we'll have, you spared this wonderful time to be here. I want to say a big thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, you're welcome. So as we all might know, and some of us doesn't know, Ifybella is a kidney charity organization. And it's a charity that is born out of true life experience of the founder, which is me. It's unfortunate that some people might wonder, how would that happen? Even notwithstanding my career and every experience as a nurse and as a health professional as well. So this is to tell you that kidney failure or kidney issue and disease is a serious matter in our society today. And this is why it is vital and very important. That's why we all gather here to listen and to create awareness about it, because we want to make changes in the society. This is 1 year of our operation in the local community Milton Keynes, and so far it's been wonderful. And also, we'll still have some hiccup on the ways, but we thank God He's faithful. We have had a lot of health awareness over the year. We started with giving every monthly health awareness program and the coffee morning event that we give out in Moreland Coffee Center in Bing Hill. Due to the time and the nature of the whole work, because it's really a time-consuming one. So we try to space it out to 3 monthly. But today we are all here today to celebrate and to thank the team. I've got a wonderful team here, the whole members and volunteers and friends and well-wishers. All of you have been wonderful, really great people. I appreciate and love you all. Thank you for all your parts you've taken to play in this wonderful mission all this while. We have so many activities that we've been carrying along during this period of time, and we want to continue with it. And this is why we're here today and asking that we all should come out in mass so that we carry this mission so that it will be successful, because we don't want people to continue to die. Kidney diseases and its failure is a reality. I know that we all come from different cultural background, belief and all of it, but the reality is it exists. And this is why Ifybella was formed, so that we can see a way to eradicate it, if possible, to cure it. So, for someone that have kidney disease or kidney failure, there are so many factors that could attribute to that, which our health professionals are here to talk to us through about it. And before the end of the program, that's why we put it as a discussion program, so that we all have the time to ask questions and to get answers. We have so many supports in the community, like transportation. We provide this to the community to help people that are unable to go for their dialysis treatment, to be able to go for their treatment and the social activities, those that are poorly. And also for shopping, for those that need help with shopping that could not, because we have internet these days, which is correct, but you still realize that sometimes you would like to explore more in the shop, to walk around, to see what is out there. So we have our volunteers and dedicated people that are well CRB checked, that carry out those services that will help you. And as God might have it, we try to stretch out outside the country, abroad, up to Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, and so many places that we're looking forward to stretch out soon. This is because when someone is affected with this so-called kidney failure, There is a treatment for it, and the treatment is what we call dialysis. But it's just a life support. So individual needs a complete permanent cure and treatment per se, so which we call transplantation. But unfortunately, due to our belief and culture, and so many taboo and constraints that we can see in the health sector, we realize that people find it difficult to key into this, to make it to be a successful one. But today I'm standing here to encourage us not to continue to opt out to organ and tissue donation, because that's the only way out to a permanent cure. Here in the UK, we have NHS, which has blood and organ donation program on the website, which is free, highest 3 minutes. You can key in and you can get yourself registered for organ donation. However, we've got new rules which come into place that it has to be automatically everyone, except if you choose to opt out in time to consume. However, we want to encourage us to stay in place, because it's something that you cannot tell. Because so many things can cause kidney failure, which we can go through our specialists. But high blood pressure, excess stress, diabetes, etc. At the end of the day, if there's any destruction or permanent damage to it, it can lead to the kidney to get lost. It's just like a car. When the car's engine is gone, you need a spare engine or tire to get the car going. And the same thing in our lives. Every challenges you see today in your life, take it that it's not permanent, it's just temporary, it's just for a time. And that is important thing I want to highlight here for us. It all depends on the mind and how we take to handle it. It is very important to be positive and to be a bit optimistic to be able to come out of it. Know what you trust and believe in and fight for it. We all are strong people, specially made, and we all are fighters. So I'm standing here today on behalf of other patients out there in the hospital and across the world to encourage us to come to our rescue. Ifybella is born to help those in need that are affected with kidney disorders and failure. And we cannot do it alone. That is why we need all of us here and many out there. So my message across to you today, place to take home is, please, we need more of us. We need more members, more volunteers, more partners. We need your support to be able to carry out these services. Because, for instance, we need a car with a disabled access so that we can be able to carry people that haven't got the mobility, the access to work. They need wheelchair access. We haven't got that, and this is what our members, you can see so many of them on uniform here with me. They are willing and they are all ready to serve. So we need more people. For instance, out in Africa, where I come from, for someone to have a kidney failure is like a date for a day. It's like that is finished. That's the end of the individual. Most of us here, nurses that practice back home, we all know that when patient is diagnosed with end-stage renal failure, that is there. Maybe my own side is like near to ward 11, which next is more. But here in the UK, the reverse is the case. We thank God for the medics. We thank God for science, which has made a lot of changes in the healthcare sector. So it's no longer killing. But we want people to understand this and to help. Many of our families and friends are there. They need our help. If we cannot donate, we can give our money to help them to save their life. We have a client in Nigeria, for instance, that came to our rescue, whose sisters, one of her sisters live here locally in Milton Keynes, and she approached us. The poor lady, for instance, she's having a kidney dialysis, which is just a life support, and it costs her 30,000 naira, which is about 70 plus pounds of our money here per day treatment, which this lady is supposed to have this treatment 3 times a week to survive, which is a lot of money. When we add it up, It's about 200 pounds. So for us, you can imagine, my team and so many of our supporters have done tremendously well, which we send our treasurer to travel to Abuja to go and see this client. So that because we do a very thorough check to ensure that we are doing a right thing. And we saw the sister, very lovely young lady, you can imagine, with all the graduation and everything, and now she cannot work for 1 year now plus. She's been having this treatment going on. So even if she's the richest lady in Africa, you can imagine if they have the land or property, it's gone because they pay for healthcare down there. And she needs a kidney transplant to survive, which can cost, with the hospital, they send us the bill, is about 13 million point, which is roughly 25,000 or thereabout in pounds. I don't know, we can calculate it and get the figure. But we cannot afford to that. So you can imagine, if we save this lady's life, she can stand like I'm standing vibrantly to talk to us, full of life and energy. But if the NHS did not save me, I may be down the drain. Who knows by now? But look at me today. And this is why I stand out there to speak and to ask for your help, please. Let's save the life of these people, our friends that are lying in sick bay. Please, let's change our mindset. These are our sisters and brothers, they are like us. And we just need only that one step just to put out there, to go and listen to them and see where we can help them. Even if we cannot give our own organ, which is our kidney, at least we can give them psychological support. We can ask them, okay, that we're having a medical care free of charge. Not to talk of out there across the world. We want you all, please, to come and work with us, partner with us, support this vision so that it will grow to help and put a smile to the sick and to the needy that are out there looking for our help. So in order not to take all our time today, I want to welcome all of us here and ask you all to relax, please. We have a lot in stock here, but food, drinks, feel free, just relax. We're very, very sorry that we started late, but my apologies to that, please. And you're all welcome. Welcome and relax. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Can we really put our hands together for Ify? It is very, very commendable. You agree with me? It's not easy to start. Even the smallest project is a very difficult thing to do. But here we are, 1 year in the making, and this organization is still standing and making waves. And I tell you what, you may be wondering, well, how can I help, what can I do? Like she pointed out, several cultures have different taboos over some, issues. Thank goodness that with the dissemination of information, people are getting wiser, people are learning, people are understanding. I know culturally, I'm a Nigerian, a full-time Nigerian, and a practicing Igbo man. And Okay, should I take that again? I'm a full-time Nigerian and a practicing Igbo man. Okay. Now, in my own culture as an Igbo man, especially if you come from my own part of Igbo land, where we pride ourselves as the real Igbos, if you come from my own part of Igbo land, Anambra State, and zero it down to Nnewi, you will understand clearly that for you to say that someone would donate his kidney to you, it carries a lot of interpretations. Even giving blood, even donating blood. Someone like, so you take someone's blood. If it's a criminal, so you're going to become a criminal. something like that, there's always a kind of coloration, a kind of taboo, a kind of cultural myths, and if you like, superstitions that surround these things. But these are some of the things that this organization is trying to break. Create awareness, help people to understand. I will tell you something now, and I'm quite sure, I don't know if my wife will be very happy for me to say this. But in 2007, I was diagnosed of CKD. I hope she's not listening. She'll tell me off. Why are you advertising your health? 2007 I was diagnosed with CKD, that's chronic kidney disease. It's not a disorder, I don't have a disorder. Disease. You won't be surprised. Do I not look healthy to you? You don't want to say the truth. I do. I know I do. And it was like, are you joking? But why I said is for you to understand. Thank goodness I don't have I'm not, I've been monitored, and it's not a problem to me since 2007. The doctor told me, my GP told me that, yes, because I was surprised. What do you mean CKD? What are you talking? Especially when they say chronic. It rings an alarm bell, But these medical professionals, they have a way of categorizing things that put you off your seat. So that even if you wanted to be laid back about it, they push you, push out to go and do something about it. So my GP told me that when you have a sustained high blood pressure for a long period of time, it affects the kidney. Now I'm quoting my GP, I'm not a practitioner. But you will understand that several people, especially back home, when I say back home, I mean back home in Africa, back home in Nigeria, people rarely take their blood pressure. People rarely take any medical MOT, if you like. And sometimes someone will just drop dead. I have a cousin, a niece, who died some years back. She had kidney failure. Myself and someone who kept on donating blood every now and again because she was on dialysis. Eventually, goodness, she got a kidney transplant in India and lived for some years, and eventually she died. So this is not a quickly made up story that Ifybella is trying to, it's not a rumor mongering, it's not a fear mongering, it is a reality. And if you help or if you support this organization, you will not know that you are putting a smile on somebody's face. And I tell you one evil saying, they say that someone who stays in the marketplace at Truestone, he doesn't know if you fall on his mouth. Hello? If you are in the marketplace and you pick up the stone and you throw it up, you don't know whether it will land on your mom's head. So that's a negative, but this positive now, if you take £1, £2, £100 and throw it into Ifybella, you don't know that your relative will be a beneficiary of it. So I just want to encourage you to support this organization, pray for this organization, and be part of this organization, no matter how remotely, no matter how small, no matter how big. And I want to invite my brother and friend who will help us further in launching this, raising funds for this very thing. Pastor Fedi, please. Can we put our hands together as we welcome this man of God?
Good evening all. Hello? Hello? Can you see me? Can you see me? Yeah, well done. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want us to be joyful tonight. I want us to feel at home tonight. And before I start, I just want to say thank you to each and every one of us who has come to support Ifybella organization. Your presence is very vital in this place tonight. You are not here tonight by accident. And you are here because of the love that you are showing and the concern that you are showing to all the kidney sufferers. Are we together?
Yes.
Are we together? I wish some of you were here when the deputy mayor was speaking and gave a speech about the kidney. And I don't know, probably before I carry on, I don't know whether I should ask him again to give that speech. Because when he gave the speech, most of us were not in this room. So please, allow me to call the deputy mayor to come back again and give that same speech again, if he can. So please, can we just rewind the tape just a little bit? Let's give the deputy mayor a round of applause as he comes back. And I want us to listen to that speech. It was powerful. It was powerful. Apologies, sir, but please do it for me and for Ifybella organization. Thank you.
This is what we say when I come from about having to sing for your supper. The point that I was making when we spoke was that I have had experience myself of 2 transplants, in fact. Not as serious in any sense as a kidney transplant. They were both to my eyes, they were corneal transplants because I was going blind. But it does mean that I remember very, very clearly, first of all, the dangers of not doing anything about it. I let my eyes deteriorate without paying attention to the warning signs. The second thing I remember was actually the difficulty of coping with the idea that there were going to be 2 operations which would introduce into me something that had belonged to something else. And for 18 months I delayed and prevaricated and said, I can't cope with this. It's just beyond my understanding. And it was only when the surgeon said quite clearly, look, you will be blind within 6 to 9 months, that I realized that ultimately there was no choice. And then there was the aftercare, having to cope with steroid tablets for many months, and then for 2 or 3 years, I don't have to do it now, but for 2 or 3 years, going around with a telephone number in my back pocket, which would allow me to phone a hospital if there were any signs of anti-rejection on the part of either of my eyes, so that I could get to a hospital in 45 minutes. And that's what I want to try and get across to you. The impact on 3 years of my life on something that is nothing like as serious as CKD. And that's the challenge that I think that Ifybella is facing up to. If you take this country, England alone, 1.8 million people have got CKD at the moment. But worse than that, over 1 million people we think have it, but it's undiagnosed. It leads to 45,000, I'll say this again, it leads to 45,000 premature deaths in this country, with all of its resources, with its National Health Service, with its prevention services, and all of those things. And yet 45 people do not live a full life because of CKD. And that's the challenge that I think that Ifybella is facing, and as was so eloquently put before us a few minutes ago. The need to expand this kind of understanding, this kind of support to other countries which don't have the resources that we have in this country. I sense that we're being asked to give money. But think of it not as a challenge, think of it as an obligation to give to those who don't have the kind of resources that we have here, so that they can be supported, helped, diagnosed, and ultimately cured, or at least led to live a more fulfilled life because of our generosity. So I want to applaud everything that you said and what you're trying to do. It will be hugely important in this country, but is without words of importance of what you will be able to do overseas. And I speak from the heart, from somebody who actually understands how you will be able to help people in the same position that I once was. So thank you for all you're doing. Exactly. Who's coming next?
Thank you very much, Chancellor. Thanks so much indeed. We are earlier on